when I have 6 interviews in a day, often they will blend. And I'll have notes and I'll be able to be like, oh yeah, that was that person. Very often, a colleague of mine who we're interviewing together will be like, do you remember that person? That person was like, wow, there was something about them that was remarkable, something that stood out. Good thing you're all sitting down, you're not gonna be falling over in shock. You wanna be that person. You wanna be the one where people are like, do you remember that person? That was very unusual. I'm gonna give you a couple of different examples of how to do this. And these are some of the frameworks that I think are really useful. So framework 1, and you can do one of these or all of these or combine, well, probably not all of these, do one of these or combine them in some way. But framework 1 is, I just succeed in everything I do. So your resume is like, I'm just very good at, I accomplish things. And so they're gonna wanna know, well, how is that possible, right? And they wanna know, can you do that again and again? But if you can leave them with the impression that this is a person who finds ways to succeed. They work hard, they bring in people they need help from, they're able to work effectively with other people, they find resources, they get the job done. And so if you can leave them with that impression, that's a pretty good impression to leave someone with. Framework 2 is, I am deeply knowledgeable about areas that matter to you a ton. So the example I love giving about this, and I put a LinkedIn post up today that if you're interested in capital markets in any way or shape or form, you're probably very well served to know 2 or 3 stocks really well that you can pitch. And what'll really help you stand out is having a pretty deep understanding of a couple of different industries. That will surprise them. The way you can do this is pick something that's of interest to you. Anybody here interested in renewable energy? How about nuclear? How about oil and gas? Tech? Healthcare? So what you want to do is find your areas, and let's talk about, it was oil and gas, I think you said, right? Okay, so that's actually a perfect one, because you not only have so much you can sink your teeth into, but at the same time, everyone is like, how do I get a job in AI, right? So you're gonna have, you can have the pick of the litter. And so in this instance, all you have to do is pursue your curiosity. There's an abundance. So I was asking first about nuclear and then renewable. There's an abundance of good podcasts with real experts who are sharing their knowledge about these topics. And you learn, you listen to the podcast, you're not gonna be shocked to hear, write about it on LinkedIn, and you're gonna build this body of knowledge. So when you go into, roughly speaking, I'm sorry, I don't remember, what area are you interested in capital markets? Have you decided yet or still figuring it out? Energy overall. Okay, cool. Oh man, that's even better, right? So you go into your interviews, having an understanding of Permian crude production levels and what the trend has been. What's been happening with the rig count in the US? Rough knowledge of what's happening offshore. They're gonna be like, who is this person? They're gonna be like blown away. And so having that, you're gonna be one of the only people, and the deeper you go, the more knowledge you build, the more you're gonna be like the only person who's there, who's gonna be able to do that, and you'll stand out so much. And you do that in industry after industry after industry. And the beauty of it is, just find something you're interested in. Find an area you're interested in, and then pursue that and learn about it. Framework 3, I'm able to do remarkable volumes of work. This is obviously relevant for investment banking, and probably management consulting as well. But they're going to want to see lots of evidence of this, because one of the key aspects of those jobs is, can you spend that much time just grinding it out? This is my favorite one. Well, I like it a lot. I'm the only person you're going to meet who, and this lets you get creative. 2 quick examples here. One is an HR example, right? So I'm talking finance, I'm an equity portfolio manager. Why would I be talking HR? And it's because all of what I talk about is broadly translatable to any area you're wanting to work, right? These concepts apply everywhere. So how does this apply to HR? So roughly how many people in your 4th year class? 300, 400, 500-ish, is that? Okay, perfect. So if you're interested in HR, there are a ton of people who are gonna be doing job interviews, who would probably love the practice from someone who wants to go and do that professionally, right? So here's the system you build. You go and you read 5 to 10 articles on how to be really good at interviewing people. You distill those, write about them on LinkedIn. Then you create some sort of framework, and you kind of pick whether it's finance or consulting or something like that. where you pick an area maybe where you offer people the opportunity to practice interviews. So you do that, you grade it, and you give them feedback. You grade it along that metric you created. And then you post about that. And very likely that if you share it with people in the HR profession who you might want to work with, they're going to notice you. You get to these interviews, and so where I was going to go is, let's say you just do 50 interviews with classmates, right? It sounds like a lot, but 50 interviews, 30 minutes per interview, 25 hours, over 4 months. Can you do like 6 hours a month, give or take? Probably, right? That's probably manageable. You're going to be cultivating the skill set that you're going to use. You're going to go into that interview potentially having interviewed more people than the person who's interviewing you. And it's easy. It's not like this overly cumbersome thing. It's not nothing. It takes work. But standing out does take work, right? That's why it's called standing out.